Chapter 15. Richard Sides found himself standing when his vision finally cleared. His right hand was clenched, his left curled as tightly as it could manage. A rush of cool air filled his lungs. He was back, inside the terrible void of pink fog. Sides tilted his head back, scanning the shifting sky. The fog glowed with an unseen light, but no source revealed itself. Around him, the mist swirled, moving in deliberate currents that formed a perfect circle on the ground with him at the center. Then he noticed the shape. It wasn't just a circle, it was a dome, a hemisphere of fog with him enclosed inside. He watched closely as the tendrils of pink curled along an invisible barrier, sliding off as if deflected by unseen glass. The symmetry, the strange order in the chaos steadied him. He felt far less fear than before. This wasn't a dream. It wasn't some hallucination brought on by the carving. He knew now he had been taken to this place. "Where am I?" he shouted, his voice cutting through the void. "I know you can hear me." His words echoed faintly, then died. He clutched at his chest. His heart was steady, alive. To test himself, he snapped his fingers by his ear, a sharp crack followed by a distant echo. He extended his arm and snapped again, listening to the sound ripple into the mist. Then he froze. His hand was empty. A jolt of horror surged through him. He turned his palms over, checked his cuffs, felt through his pockets. Nothing, no figure, no trace. Panic rose in his throat as he spun in place, scanning the fog. The carving was gone. "Where is it?" Sides muttered, crouching as he scanned the ground. He expected to see the carving lying at his feet. But there was nothing, only the same weathered bricks he remembered from before, faintly visible through the shifting haze. He straightened slowly, eyes sweeping the dome of fog. Then he picked a direction and began walking. The urge to run pricked at him, but he held back. If he was trapped here, conserving energy felt wiser. Time's different here, he thought. Last time it felt like hours, yet in the real world, Eckhart found him almost immediately. Seconds there, hours here. Maybe. The thought didn't comfort him. His footsteps echoed dully against the bricks as he moved, the air cool and heavy. He tried to read meaning into the place, but the fog remained silent. Was this realm meant to terrify? If so, it wasn't working, not the second time. Still, he hoped the strange structure might appear again. Maybe others existed beyond it. He had no way to know. All he knew for certain was that he was alone in this place, walking deeper into something he didn't understand. A pang of regret tightened in his chest. Maybe I shouldn't have done this without Eckhart watching over me, but even that thought was hollow. How would Eckhart know? What if out there in his office, Sides showed no sign at all that he was gone? The fog swirled and swallowed his footsteps. He kept moving, deeper into the unknown. Time stretched on. A creeping thought took root. Maybe I'm trapped here forever. Maybe he would age in this fog, die alone, and, if some unseen force allowed, be revived on the other side, unchanged. The idea chilled him. Is that the purpose of this place? A time void? But to what end? What use was a prison without a warden? Or a way back? The thought made less and less sense the longer he turned it over in his mind. If this was where Alfonso came to hide and think, why choose this? And why had the figure vanished the instant Sides arrived? Without it, what could anyone hope to carry from one side to the other? He kept walking, head down, thoughts spiraling, until a sound cut through the silence. Drums. Faint at first, distant but steady. He stopped, straining to pinpoint them, not directly ahead, just off to his left. He turned slowly, lining his body with the rhythm. Thump, thump, thump. Each strike was identical, no variance and no hesitation. Perfect cadence. The sound swelled, filling the fog like a heartbeat for the void itself. Sides felt his pulse quicken, but not with fear, not this time. He angled toward the sound, lengthening his stride. The beats grew louder, clearer. He pushed forward, faster now, eager to reach their source. Thump, thump, thump. The drums carried on, steady as a heartbeat. Sides listened without flinching, his focus sharp. With every step, the fog around him thinned, still curving in a dome but losing substance, its strength unraveling. He quickened his pace, eyes sweeping the ground. The bricks beneath his feet were no longer random, they formed a clear path, each one aligned as if pointing him onward. Thump, thump, thump. The sound grew louder, fuller, but he ignored its power and pressed on. Ahead, a silhouette emerged, faint at first, then sharpening into the shape he remembered, the structure. The fog dissolved into mere wisps, a nuisance barely clinging to the edges of his vision. He could see more now, massive stone blocks, rising levels narrowing toward the heavens. A smile tugged at his lips. This time, there was no fear, no hesitation. He broke into a run. He reached the base, not at the rear, but directly before the staircase, a monumental flight that spiraled toward the apex. Each step was broad and worn, but solid. Sides lunged onto the first one, then began skipping every other, vaulting upward two at a time. His legs pumped, but no fatigue set in. His lungs stayed clear. The drums roared behind him as he climbed, faster, higher. The steps narrowed, the sky opened. He felt the wind, cooler now, sharper, as he reached the summit. And there it was. At the apex stood the smaller pyramid, light flickering in the negative space between its twin doors. Shadows danced against the glow, shapes bending and snapping in ways his eyes couldn't follow. Sides' pulse quickened again. He licked his lips, anticipation curling through him, and stepped toward the light. "I'm going to figure out a way to bring a gun through here," Sides shouted, his voice echoing off the stone. "And when I do, I'm going to blow your brains out." The light beyond the doors froze mid-flicker. Then it swelled, brighter and brighter, flooding the narrow space with a violent glow. From the other side came the sounds again, biting, scratching, snarling. This time, Sides noticed shapes, slivers of light broken by movement, patterns like legs shifting just above the floor, pacing. He couldn't count them, only feel their numbers. "I said I'm going to find a way to bring a gun," he yelled, voice rising, "and I'm going to put every one of you down. I'm not scared of you, do you hear me?" He raised his right hand in the shape of a pistol, index finger curled on an invisible trigger. He cocked his thumb back like a hammer and held the pose steady. "You're all dead," he sneered. "Boom, boom, boom." Each word was punctuated by a sharp flick of his hand, as if bracing against recoil. The noises on the other side answered with renewed frenzy. Sides dropped his arm to his side, watching, listening. Then, slowly, he raised the phantom gun again. He peered down the imaginary sights, adjusting the angle, until, instead of firing, he opened his hand wide near his temple, fingers extended. The sensation came instantly, a pull, a drop. Sides glanced down. The bricks beneath him were steady, unmoving. Yet his stomach lurched as if the ground had vanished. The sinking deepened, rising up through his chest into his throat, though his legs still stood locked on the stone. Something was happening, something he couldn't see. Suddenly, his vision blurred. His legs buckled and he felt himself drop. Darkness swept over him, brief, total, before light returned in a rush. The outline of his ceiling fan sharpened above him, blades spinning lazily, cooling the air of his home office. Sides lay sprawled on the floor, arms flung wide, legs straight out, as if about to make a snow angel on the carpet. He gave a short, incredulous laugh. He'd made it back, alone, unassisted. To his right lay the figure, toppled on its side, its grotesque face turned to the floor. Harmless now, powerless. Sides pushed himself upright, one leg at a time. A grin crept across his face, and a soft chuckle followed. He bent to retrieve the crumpled paper from his pocket, laughing louder as he crouched over the fallen idol. Its posture felt ridiculous, humiliating even. I've cracked it, he thought. He draped the paper over the carving, scooped it up, and wrapped it tight before tucking it back into his jacket pocket. With a satisfied smirk, he hung the jacket neatly on the hook behind his door. Then he crossed to his desk, picked up his phone, and tapped Eckhart's number. The line rang once, twice, and then connected. "Brian," Side said, voice steady, almost eager. "I want to go back to the compound."